Welcome back, everyone. If it's your first time watching, I'm Chris, and this is Pia's Projects. Got another package in. H&R. Ordered this through my friends at ECS Tuning. It's Destructions. Since I'm working on suspension, ultimately, I don't like doing double work. I will do work that I have to do. I'm already gonna have things apart, which is why I'm doing a lot of the things up front that need to be done. At a sway bar. Don't think I could have picked a better one. You know, for that color. Loosen up the wheels, get the car lifted, wheels off. I'm working on the rear first. Should be the most direct. Car is on jack stands, rear tire wheels are off. Now to take coilovers off. It looks pretty self-explanatory. Loosen bolt. This should thread down. There's just one bolt back here. One thing I like to do before I take the coilover off, I like to support it so it doesn't just drop when I'm doing things. Just a little bit better for everything, I guess. Also, it is 2 bolts, which I figured as much. There's one that was on top and the one on top right there. And here is when things get interesting. I took the rear shock out of the rear driver's side. All right, this is the bolt that came out of that shock, fits in the axle. The bolt I have, this is what comes with the kit. There's a little bit of a difference because this barely goes all the way through what's in there. The big one does not fit, okay? This one would work, but it's only threaded 3/4 of an inch, half an inch. I have a couple options. Well, put the coilovers back on, leave it the way it was. It's not the option. Figure out a rear shock that has a bigger opening in the bottom, mounting point, so I could just use the factory bolt. So this bolt works mostly, but it's a little loose. You don't really want it loose because then eventually you're just gonna wallow it all out. That's why with the sleeve, I'm gonna look to see if I get some bushings, okay? If I can get some bushings and maybe add another tube, because I had this, I assume this is from my other Mark IIIs I've had, because it slides right onto here. And that would have fit in perfectly and doop, doop, doop. So it's very possible that's what that is. The next issue is I need to space this out. So I probably need a bolt this long, this thin. I got a lot of issues. I think I said the rear is going to be the easy one, right? I'm going to do some research. It's a good stopping point, I guess, for right now. And sort of go from there. I knew the rear was going to be different. I guess I just didn't know how different. Done a few things. This is basically in there now. Okay. It is. The top plate is touching, but the bag is not. Now, I understand I need to inflate the bag. We'll figure that out here shortly. I think I'm gonna tap in the inner fender a bit with the dead blow. And then it should pretty much work. Bolt everything in. The eyelet on the bottom of the shock is smaller than what's on the coilover shock. I think it's about a 1/16 that I need to make larger. So really 1/32 on each side. I talked to a buddy and he said that should be fine to just drill out a little bit. Also, exciting news. I don't know if you see, but that is some recovery equipment. And we are doing prep on the land. The building is coming. All right, we got a couple things in the mail. Fuse taps that I talked about in the last video. It's a pack of 4, so we can get those set up in a little bit. But also, got some drill bits. The bottom coilover, that bolt takes a 5/8. Air strut is a 9/16. What I do is drill it out. Moment of truth. Drilled out, bolt all the way through. Oh yeah, we got this one. That took about 30 minutes. Lots of cutting fluid, and then just slowly working down. I mean, it went back and forth a lot. But yeah, we got one down. I'm gonna try and get this one bolted up, see what else I need to maneuver and adjust, and then we'll work on the other side. It has been a heck of a week for me, Pia's projects, however you want to. The rear air struts are not gonna work, okay? I've modified them, so I can't return them. I have them listed on Marketplace. If someone buys them, great. If not, maybe I'll just buy a Mark II and throw them back there. There's nothing wrong with them. They're just, I have sleeves for them, so they would work, obviously. Sway bar, bought that. Doesn't quite work with the variant. Probably the biggest thing that hurt though, building. Well, that's it. No more. The issue is, honestly, that's my issue. The driveway. How long it is, and then it flows, what would be right into the door, okay? The plan was to put the concrete slab, the top of the slab, 2 inches above the highest point here. Right here, and then carry it down. It'd be about 5 inches high over there, but that back corner would have been about 33 inches high. Retaining wall, things I've done and can do. But the issue is heavy rain, go underneath and start chipping away. We talked about doing a drain system. Still not really sure how well that would work. Ultimately, the best option would be build it like a house. You know, cinder block, do a whole foundation like that. And that wasn't in the budget. So then I looked at other locations in my yard. Well, right about here is my property line, okay? I don't have enough room to really go here to stay far enough away. Back here it would fit, but I particularly don't want to drive in the dirt or have to do a gravel path. And ultimately I would want to concrete it, which would, again, nearly double my budget just to have a driveway. Because I would want some sort of landing pad outside of it as well. So that's a no. The only other spot that I even considered, and I mean, realistically, it's a good spot, but I was told the county wouldn't approve it because it's in front of my house. Scrapping the shop project, at least for now. I'm gonna look at a few other options for other things I can do, but I will do a shed because I need storage. And ultimately, I still want to lift, okay? Looked at a few options, so hopefully in the next few weeks I have a solution for that. I have to talk to some people, get some other things set up, but yeah. Well, that's the big update for this week. I'm going to work on the front. Oh, I guess one other thing, my lawnmower just joined the club. Felt like it wanted to ruin the party as well, or join the party of spoiling things. So PTO switch replaced, but it was running, cutting, and then I had to cut it off. Wanted to cut it back on, it wouldn't cut on. Had to jump it, cut for a little bit, and then quit. I don't know if relay is bad or if the stator's bad and that's why it's not charging. Regardless, it's something else I need to fix. Projects are still rolling out, still working on a few things, but we'll see how the air ride goes now. So I need to take the coilovers out. On a Mark III, it's 1 bolt on top, 2 bolts on the bottom. Just so I want to see how everything mocks up. Sort of get everything lined up. I want to see where the air fitting is, so I can figure out where to run the line. Well, pretty much everything is torn apart now. Originally, I was gonna do the front sway bar, but it looks like I have to lower the subframe. So I will wait until I do the motor swap. Sway bar is sitting over there. I'm just not to the point that I want to tear that apart, plus time. So I need to take the tie rod off of a new one. I have new control arm, new ball joint. I need to press out the old hub bearing. And then passenger side, just slap it all back together. Biggest thing I want to remind everyone, whenever working on anything, especially suspension, mechanical parts, but reference your book. If you have a Bentley manual for a VW, get it. I just put the ball joint on the control arm, ball joint to control arm, 35 Newton meters, which is 26 foot-pounds. I tightened everything first, then the final tightness check is with the torque wrench. Don't use your torque wrench as a regular wrench. That's the best way to get the calibration off, to screw it up, okay? So you should be using a regular wrench, ratchet, what have you. Tighten everything up, then check your final specs with the torque wrench. Well, it looks like the inner tie rod actually is good. It doesn't drop at all. The boot is tore, so I need to order a boot. So before I throw in a brand new one, because ultimately, I don't know who all knows, but this summer, most of this coming apart again for motor swap. And if I'm changing out everything, if I'm changing out subframe, possibly steering rack, then I'm doing double work, right? So I'm going to clean up the points here, the connections, so it's a little cleaner. Well, and things have fought me all day, just like they have all week. But look, what do we have in here? We have the front air struts installed. What I'm going to do, this hole, this is where the ABS line went. I'm removing the whole ABS system. So I will run the line through there. Originally, I was going to throw in the control arms, refresh everything. Man, every bit was fighting me. And I need to get the air struts on, front lines ran, and try and get this aligned this week, just because of timing. We'll do the air strut on the driver's side, 3 bolts, okay? 3 bolts, take out, put in. Everything else will get changed over when I do the motor swap, okay? They're older parts, but nothing is worn out where it's unsafe, okay? I'll do the big brake upgrade. I'll do the new control arms. I just need to keep pressing on with what does work, and we will have progress, okay? But I think I'm gonna stop the video here. It's a little bit all over the place. Had some hurdles this week. We've also made some forward progress, and I think I've figured out the next step for shop infrastructure. There will be roadblocks. I mean, regardless of what you do, whether you take risk or don't take any risk, there will always be a roadblock somewhere. It's how do you handle it when presented with the situation. My advice, and as I always say, there's always a solution. Keep that in mind as the week goes on, as each day, okay? Something isn't going your way. It's okay to take some time to just let it be, you know? Just be a little frustrated, but then sit down, figure out a new approach, okay? I appreciate everyone watching. I appreciate all the pre-orders I got, a lot more than I was expecting. Thank you to everyone. Everything has been sent to my shirt maker. Once I get them, they'll either be shipped out or delivered accordingly, okay? Have a good week. Keep working on your projects. And don't forget, there's always a solution.